Put Duz in your washing machine, finest Duz you've ever seen. Figure news now when you sing, D-U-Z does everything.
And now Duz brings you The Guiding Light, created by Erna Phillips.
Ray, everyone in Selby Flats knows about the accident to Chucky.
How did it happen, Charlotte?
Well, it seems that he was taking a boxing lesson. He backed against the ropes, slipped, fell, and hit his head.
Boxing lessons. How absolutely ironical.
Isn't it?
Maida fought Ted tooth and nail ever since he insisted that Chucky take boxing lessons.
From what I hear, it's pretty serious. A fracture and concussion. I managed to get a hold of Mary Leland.
And?
And she said it was anyone's guess whether he'd even regain consciousness or not.
I just can't believe it.
Chucky. The little guy you used to call him.
Yeah. The little guy.
Ray, I know it's rather late, but I'd like to go over and see Maida. What do you think?
Well, do you feel that's wise at this time?
What has being wise to do with how Maida feels or how I feel? Chucky was our little boy once. And once, I was his mother.
The fears and hopes of two mothers for a little boy who lies unconscious in Selby Flats Hospital. We'll learn more about this in a moment. For white washes without red hands, I'm coming back to Duz. That's what your letters say. Yes, more of you write every day, telling us that after trying some of those no-rinse chemicals on wash day, you're going back to Duz. Listen to these letters.
Cleveland, Ohio. Mrs. Shakely, housewife for 8 years.
I tried some of those chemical powders for my wash, but my hands couldn't take it. So I'm back to Duz. It's certainly true. Duz gives me white washes without red hands.
Lansing, Michigan. Mrs. Brain, mother of 8-month-old baby.
I've tried many washing powders, but always go back to Duz. Duz gets my clothes clean without treating my hands rough.
Watervliet, New York. Mrs. DeLolo, new bride.
I learned how different Duz is when my mother-in-law praised me for getting my husband's shirt so white. I told her Duz does what it says. Gives me white washes without red hands.
How about you? Are your hands suffering from one of those no-rinse chemicals on wash day? Then change to Duz. Only Duz of all leading wash day products contains such great quantities of rich, real soap combined with 2 active detergents. That's why Duz gets clothes so wonderfully clean and white, while it gives extra safety to colors and almost toilet soap mildness for hands. Duz does everything. Get Duz today for white washes without red hands.
Oh, Charlotte, Maida. I wasn't sure you'd be home. I wanted to stay at the hospital. Ross sent me home. Are you alone, dear? Yes. Papa and Trudy went over the bills. I wanted to be alone. Oh, well, then maybe you'd rather No, Charlotte. I think you're the one person I wanted to see. Charlotte, I can't believe it's happened. I know, dear, I know. A boxing lesson. Oh, dear God, why? What? Now, don't, Maida. Dear Maida, don't torture yourself. As I sat in that hospital room looking at Chucky, so helpless, I couldn't stop thinking. Not only of Ted. He's responsible for what happened. He's responsible. I suppose in a way he is. In a way. In every way. Charlotte, Maybe I'm responsible, too.
Oh, no, Meta.
I can't help but go back. When I knew I was going to have Chucky, I didn't want him. When he was born, I didn't want him. Is that why God is punishing me today?
Darling, Chucky will be all right. Believe me, he'll be all right.
He loved you, Charlotte. And you loved him. When I gave him away, I shouldn't have tried to find him. When I finally learned that you had adopted the little baby I didn't want, I shouldn't have fought you. I shouldn't have hurt you.
Oh, Meta, dear, don't.
Today I know. Today I know what you went through when you gave my son back to me. Your house was empty. You didn't hear a little child talking. You didn't hear...
Meta. Now, Meta, dear, you've got to stop it.
I'm afraid, Charlotte. I'm afraid.
Honey, what are you going to gain by being afraid? Hope. That's the thing we should both hold on to. We should both have faith and hope. There mustn't be any room for fear in either of our hearts.
No room for fear. No room for fear. For months I've been afraid, not for myself, but for a little boy who was afraid. Oh, Charlotte.
Hope, Meta. Hope and faith. There is hope. Ross must have told you that.
He didn't know. No one knows. But this much I do know. When Chucky comes out of this, Ted will never lay eyes on him again. Never, court or no court. A normal home. A mother and a father. A father who was a monster. I hate Ted.
I've no hatred. Not now, Meta, please.
Faith. That's such an easy word, Charlotte. But you can't know what Ted has done to Chucky. You didn't have to watch his fears, his conflicts. And Charlotte, the last thing Chucky said to me before the accident, when I tried to explain that Ted and I were separated, I tried to make him understand that he was going to live with me, that we were going to have a new home, that his father wasn't going to be with us. The last thing Chucky said was that he didn't know if I could take care of him. That's what he said. And do you know why he said that? Charlotte, Ted had told him that the reason I didn't have him when he was a little baby was because I couldn't take care of him. I tried to make Chucky understand, but I couldn't because he wasn't sure. He wasn't sure of me. He said that if I did take care of him, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, he said, maybe you'll give me away again. Oh, Charlotte, I died 1,000 deaths when he said that. You know, so often Dr. Keeler has talked about the laws of compensation. Because I gave my little boy away, is he going to be taken away from me, Charlotte? Is he?
No, Meta. Because we won't let it happen. We'll fight, you and I.
What can we do?
We'll will him to live. You and I will him to live. He must live. For what he means to you, and for what he meant to me.
If there were only something we could do. Something we could do to wake him out of this deep sleep. Well, all we can do now is wait, Nita. Yes, wait. It's been an eternity since this morning. The minutes seem to drag endlessly. There on that chair. His picture book. Just where I left it. Crayons. Waiting. Yes, they're waiting too. Waiting for a little boy's hand. Waiting. Everything is waiting. Nita, I brought something with me. Chucky used to love it when he was just a little guy. His music box, yeah. And I thought maybe we could take it over to the hospital. You've kept that music box all this time. Well, it's the only thing I have kept of Chucky's. Do you know that when he was only a little over a year old, he had some kind of fever? And we couldn't quiet him, but the music box did. And then do you know that later, whenever he didn't feel too well, which of course wasn't very often, the music box was the only thing that he wanted. So I thought that maybe now he'd be able to hear the music box. And he'd wake up out of his sleep, smiling, just the way he used to. We could try, Charlotte. Who knows? Maybe deep down he'll hear its music and know there isn't anything to be afraid of. And know how much we want him to open his eyes. How much we want to hear him say just one word, just one. Mother. Oh, dear God, let me hear that word again. Dear God, let me hear that word again, please.
White washes without red hands.
That's why I've gone back to Duz.
That's why women everywhere are going back to Duz. Have you been trying some of those no-rinse chemicals on wash day? Then keep this fact in mind. Maybe your clothes can take it, but how about your hands?
Yes, if a pair of red hands is the price you're paying for doing your wash, then join the swing to Duz. See what it really means to get white washes without red hands.
Duz can make this promise because of the way Duz is made. Only Duz, of all leading wash day products, contains such great quantities of rich, real soap, combined with 2 active detergents.
That's why Duz gets clothes so wonderfully clean and white, while it gives extra safety to colors and almost toilet soap mildness to hands. Duz does everything. So how about it? If you want white washes without red hands, get Duz today. Chucky's accident and its effect on the Bill Bowers in the next episode of The Guiding Light, brought to you by Duz.
Put Duz in your washing machine. D-U-Z does everything.
This is Clayton Collier wishing you good day and good Duzzing.